Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an organization based in Hazard continues to help get people back on their feet as we continue recovering from flooding. And an Eastern Kentucky student continues his mission of helping people stay warm during the winter.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. Almost 6 o'clock here on this very cold start to our December, because it is December 1st and it's Thursday. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for waking up with us. We're glad you're here. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, buddy, I'm glad you're here with us this morning.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here with us this morning, too.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say.
Warm and fuzzy feelings.
Oh,
there you go.
Wish it was warm and fuzzy outside.
I know. I kind of wish I'd worn my fuzzy socks this morning.
I need them. My feet are cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But it is chilly out there, so be aware of that as you're heading out the door this morning. And just bundle up. That's the best advice I can give you. Let's go over to UVA WISE, which seems to be working for the moment. And you see lots of stars in the sky. So clear skies out there this morning. Beautiful start to the day, but there's those teens. They literally just came into play in the last 5 minutes there. 19 now in Irvine, 17 in Monticello. We're down to 22 in London and Manchester, 23 Clintwood, Jonesville, Wise, and Somerset. Also Williamsburg. So just be aware that we could see some more teens showing up. Now remember yesterday we were several degrees warmer than it was the day before. Today we are 30 plus degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning in a lot of areas. Colder, not warmer, colder. So again, 34 is the winner there in London this morning, 30 Jackson, 32 in Moorhead. But some folks are only about 27 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning. So that's places like Logan and Pikeville and Prestonsburg, Hazard, Harlan, and Wise. But it's cold out there this morning. So grab yourself a nice big old cup of coffee, maybe grab two, because again, it's just a cold forecast this morning. If you're getting a donut as you head out your way out the door, you're going to see sunshine today. But as we remove those donuts, you see not a lot of warmth to be had, 41 only for a daytime high. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, the Commonwealth gave a final farewell to former Governor John Y. Brown Jr. on Wednesday. Family, friends, and politicians shared stories during a private service from inside the Capitol Rotunda. The service was broadcast across the state on KET. His children say he encouraged them to make a difference, while friends say Brown was great at giving people chances to succeed.
He was wonderful, and he didn't get in the way of the people that he hired. He let them do their jobs.
While he was lying in state, Brown's casket was draped in a Kentucky flag. It was later switched to an American flag because of his military service. Brown was buried at the Lexington Cemetery. Well, a group of Republican senators want to block military funding because of a vaccine mandate. Their group of 13 is led by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. WYMT Washington News Bureau reporter Peter Zampa has more on the funding fight that is unfolding.
13 Republican senators, led by Rand Paul and Lindsey Graham, penned a letter to their leadership Wednesday, stating their opposition to moving toward passage of the National Defense Authorization Act, the massive piece of legislation that funds the military each year. The reason for their opposition? The Biden administration's vaccine mandate for military personnel.
Our young men and women in the military deserve better.
Paul, flanked by his co-authors, argues the mandate has ruined the livelihoods of thousands of American servicemen and women discharged for not getting vaccinated. The letter threatens the group will not vote to proceed with the military funding package unless another vote is taken on their amendment, which calls for getting rid of the mandate and reinstating discharged service members with back pay.
At a time when the military is struggling to meet their targets for recruitment, the Biden administration is firing soldiers we invested in and trained.
In August 2021, the Food and Drug Administration fully approved the COVID vaccine, deeming it safe and effective. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and President Joe Biden then mandated the shot for service members. The senators are threatening to block a package that usually sees widespread bipartisan support. Military leaders are pleading for it to pass as threats continue to mount, particularly from Russia and China.
It's essential that the DoD has the authorities needed to defend the nation, deter our adversaries, and support a lethal, resilient, and healthy joint force.
Many of the senators added they do plan to eventually support the NDAA after a vote on their amendment. They would not say how leadership reacted to their letter after a party lunch on Wednesday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Peter Zampa.
Well, we are still tracking COVID-19 across the country and even here in the Commonwealth. The state released its weekly numbers yesterday. It reported more than 3,800 new cases. That number is down significantly from the week before, likely because of the holidays. 43 deaths were reported. The positivity rate is slightly up. It's 7.03%. While the number of hospitalizations and patients in the ICU is also up. And you can see on the map, Eastern Kentucky has 3 counties in the red. Those are Magoffin, Johnson, and Floyd. Pike County remains in the yellow. There are at least 3 school systems closed the rest of the week due to various illnesses. Those are Corbin Independent, Jackson County, and Whitley County. Well, over at Morehead State University is helping graduates impacted by the flooding we had in late July. The university says students will be able to get a free replacement of their diplomas. Well, this will be offered to graduates from the 13 hardest hit counties. You must request a replacement by March of next year. You can apply on Morehead State's website. The Housing Development Alliance, based here in Hazard, has been boots on the ground following the devastating flood. We talked to people with the organization about their efforts more than 4 months later. The Housing Development Alliance has 7 homes under construction for flood survivors in Breathitt, Knott, and Perry counties. They will take about 3 to 4 months to finish.
We've got a lot of them going, and so when you kind of spread it out, and then we're actually still trying to hire some additional construction workers. So if anybody out there needs a job, they can give us a call.
Recently, the Alliance received a $120,000 donation from Save a Lot in the Airport Gardens section of Perry County and $50,000 from the Eastman Corporation. Scott McReynolds says that money goes directly to flood victims, whether it be for a new home or repairs to their current one.
You don't want to sound greedy and say you still need more, but we've gotten some very generous donations that are going to really help us help a bunch of folks, but there's still a bunch of folks who need help.
McReynolds says people they help are in different stages of recovery, adding he stopped by a flooded house Tuesday night where no work has even begun.
The need is so big. You celebrate when you help somebody get back in their house or find a solution, but then you turn around and there's still a lot of folks who need help.
Helping Eastern Kentucky recover. In Hazard, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. HDA tells us it needs volunteers to help reconstruct and repair homes. A group of people from Tippecanoe, Indiana are headed to Knott County today after saying they felt led to collect donations for flood survivors in their Indiana community of 500 people. They will be bringing 3 semi-trucks full of items. Regina Bentley, she lives in Knott County and has been helping organize the delivery. She says it's amazing what these people have done for our region.
He wanted to do 1 semi-full, 80 foot. He called me. We got another semi we're filling. Call me. It's full. 2 semis full. Call me again. 3 semis full from a little town of 500 people.
Well, Bentley says if you have needs and were affected by the flood, you can visit KnottCountyRising.org to be connected with the case manager who will then assist in getting you the supplies you need. Well, the annual Share the Warmth coat drive is currently underway. Well, the final day to spread holiday cheer and to donate coats of any size is December 20th. A 6th grader at East Perry Elementary School, Shade Combs, started the coat drive 3 years ago because he says he saw the need for it.
Because the people that I saw outside were just shorts, short sleeve shirt, and freezing.
Well, if you'd like to donate to Shade's Coat Drive, there are drop-off locations in Hazard at Game On, Kentucky River Finance, and June and Joy's Children's Boutique, and Kentucky Farm Bureau, Janet Smith Agency. If you'd like to become a drop-off location, you can call 606-438-0529. Well, doctors at Kentucky Children's Hospital Hematology and Oncology Clinic are showing support for their patients in a heartwarming way. Well, last night they all shaved off their hair after a successful Dance Blue fundraiser, and it's all thanks to a group of University of Kentucky students who raised money in November as part of their No Shave November campaign. The group called Dance Blue were able to raise nearly $37,000 for the clinic.
It's just a wonderful gift that keeps giving, And everyone who touches Dance Blue wins. The students get great experience and volunteerism. The patients get benefited.
Dance Blue will have one last fundraiser of the semester this Friday at the Bear and the Butcher. That's a restaurant in the Chevy Chase community in Lexington. A portion of proceeds that day will be donated to Dance Blue.
.609 here on this Thursday morning. A lot of blue on our temperature map out there, but it's the cold blue. Let's take a look and see what's going on out there. Teens and 20s, the warmest temperature in the region, 28 in Harlan. They're holding in some heat down that way. Everybody else is in the mid or low to mid 20s and upper teens across our area this morning. So the checklist for today: grab your coat, grab your hat or toboggan, grab your gloves. Don't know if you'll need your boots, but maybe to keep your feet warm you might. And then you'll need a warm beverage as you head out the door as well, that's for sure. Temperatures only get into the low 40s this afternoon, even with a mix of sun and clouds. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, a new lawsuit targets the Department of Veterans Affairs for racial discrimination throughout the years. We'll have those details in just a few minutes.